Hi, I'm Ingrid, and I'm here to read the story Halloween is Not for Sissies by Joe Schmidt. When I was little, we lived in a small town on the Allegheny River near Pittsburgh. It was fall, and on warm days from Grandma's front porch, we could look at the hillside across the river and see all of the pretty fall colors while Grandma told us exciting stories. In those days, kids would throw shelled corn at people's houses as a Halloween trick. Some bad kids would rub a bar of soap on the windows of people's houses. When Halloween approached, I would beg Grandfather to take the neighborhood kids and I out to the country in his big old Buick to find a secluded farm where we could all jump out and grab a couple of ears of corn. We would take them back and Grandma would help us shell the corn and put it in a bag to take with us while we went trick-or-treating. When someone did not answer the door or had their lights off, we would throw a handful of corn at their door. I suppose it was harmless, as most folks swept it up and fed it to the birds, and I'm sure the farmer did not mind us taking a little bit of his corn. We were ready for Halloween, and our costumes were picked out, and we had bags for candy and our corn tricks just in case. My grandparents lived next door to our house, and often in the evening, the family would play cards around Grandma's kitchen table. We were all there, Gram and Gramps, my mom and dad, and his sister and her husband, who I called Buster. Buster bragged a lot and was always telling everyone how he built houses and was going to be rich just as soon as he worked out the next big deal. My grandparents loved to play cards, and the latest craze was canasta. They were playing, and I was kibitzing or advising Grandma. My father was there, but was not playing, just talking and nibbling cheese and crackers. Dad was a big fellow and had played football on the offensive line for Wake Forest, but now worked at Allegheny Steel, the local steel factory. At that time, he was a laborer shoveling material into the furnaces and pouring molten steel into molds. It was hot, dangerous work, and he was often surrounded by fire and molten steel. Uncle Buster often said unkind things to Dad because of the work he did. I would sometimes tell Uncle Buster to be nicer, but he would just laugh at me, saying, "You should be tough like me, kid." I heard it first. There was the sound of corn hitting the windows at the front of the house. We were all in the kitchen in the back of the house, and Grandma laughed and told Grandpa he would have a lot of bird feed to clean up in the morning. The cracking sound grew louder. Then it happened. There was pounding at the back door, and the neighbor yelling, "Your house is on fire!" We all ran to the front of the house. My uncle was there first and yelled, "We are gonna die! We all have to get out of the house!" as he ran for the back door. My father ran to the fire. My grandmother had put a papier-mâché pumpkin on the front windowsill with a candle inside. The candle had burned low and had set the pumpkin on fire. That was the cracking sound that we heard, and it was not the corn hitting the window at all. The drapes were on fire, and the windowsill had started to burn, and the desk in front of the window had papers on top of the desk that were blazing. The fire was growing fast, and it looked like the whole room would soon be ablaze. Dad jumped in and moved the desk, threw the burning papers on the floor, and pulled down the drapes, using them to smother the fire. We found Buster in the backyard crying. Dad put his arm around Buster and said, "Come inside. The fire is out, and you can help open the doors and the windows to let out the smoke." I was proud of Dad. The end.
Hi, my name is Joe Schmidt. I'm retired from Ford Motor Company. Didn't like retirement much, so I decided to sell real estate. And I do enjoy that a lot. I also like to write. I used to tell stories to my kids, my grandkids, and I decided I'd write them down and send them out as an email to friends and clients that I have, and they seem to enjoy that. So I've now decided to have them narrated, and I put out the narration of these stories once a week on YouTube and different places. And so I'm doing that because folks seem to enjoy it, and it's fun to talk about the stories, and I like that. I also sell real estate, as I said, and I enjoy doing that. I like to help people. I do mission work and different things, helping folks around the world, and I like to help you. One of the things that's happening right now is houses are few and far between to buy for folks that are looking, and so I've been able to set up searches, automatic searches for folks that they tell me what they'd like in a house, and I set it up for the kind of house they want in the area and the price range, and they get an automatic feed as soon as that house becomes available on the market, and so we can go see it right away. I, at the same time, put together an appraisal for what that house is worth and what it's likely to sell for, and so then you, as a buyer, are armed with information that makes you a competitive buyer, and so you can put together a good offer and see if something will happen. I also work with lenders that enable you to find the house you like and to buy the house while you still have your old house, move into the new place, and then get the old place, the old house fixed up and painted and ready to go, and then sell it, and it'll sell quite quickly. And so it's a good plan. It's a good way to make things work. So if I can help you, please give me a call, send me a text, get in touch with me in some way, and we'll be glad to make something happen for you.